Hi guys, welcome back. We are going to work on 2.2 today, which is subtracting integers. So again, we're going to use our p's and n's, and I know for some of us that's going to be really annoying, but that's just going to help us visualize some things. As we get better and better, we will stop using the p's and n's, okay? So subtracting integers. Remember, integers are positive and negative counting numbers. So 5 minus 2. We know 5 minus 2 is 3. We've been doing that for a long time. But again, that's 5 positives that we're starting with. And whenever I'm subtracting, I'm taking away whatever that is. So I'm taking away 2 positives. So I take away 2 positives, I'm left with 3. Okay? We've done that before. Let's look at another one. So we're starting with 5 positives and we're taking away 2 negatives. So I have 5 positives to start with. Okay? But there's not 2 negatives to take away. So what I'm going to do is I need to get 2 negatives into my problem, but I can't just add 2 negatives wherever I want. But if I put 2 negatives here and I put 2 positives here, okay, 2 positives and 2 negatives cancel, so I still have 5, okay? So 1 positive and 1 negative is 0, 1 positive and 1 negative is 0. So if I do this, okay, now I have 2 negatives in the problem. And if I take away the 2 negatives, with actual marker this time, then I'm left with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 positives. Okay? So 5 minus negative 2 is actually 7. We can think of this like taking away debt. If you owed me $2, okay, and then you made $5 and I forgave you the $2 in debt, you would have $7, okay? Because I had already given you the $2. Another way to think of this, and this is probably the hardest part of adding and subtracting integers, is 2 negatives make a positive. So whenever I see a negative right next to a negative with just a parenthesis between them, we can just make that a big plus sign, okay? And it becomes 5 plus 2, which we know 5 plus 2 is 7, okay? So, we can also think of, we already talked about money, I'm sorry. So let's try another one. So we have negative 5 minus negative 2. Okay. Well, negative 5 is going to start with our n's here. So we have negative 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now this time I need to take away 2 negatives, but there's already 2 negatives here. So I can just do take away 1, take away 2. So I'm left with negative 3. Okay. But again, we can also think of this in terms of changing that 2 negatives to a positive. Again, I have 2 negatives right next to each other with just a parenthesis between them. So as soon as I see that, I can make that a big plus sign. Now, negative 5 plus 2 would be like, okay, I went and I spent $5, so I'm $5 in debt, and I make $2 and pay that off. So now I'm only $3 in debt. Okay. So a couple different ways to think of this. All right. So I have 10 positives, and I'm going to take away 25 positives. Okay, so that's going to be a problem. So I have 10 positives. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, and I actually drew some positives and negatives here. Oops, my positives were red, so let's make them red. Okay, so I have 10 positives. So I'm just going to move this. Okay, but I need to take away 25 positives, but I only have 10 to take away. So I'm going to add another 10 positives. But when I add 10 positives, I'm also going to add 10 negatives. Okay? Because again, if I were to cancel out all of these right here, that would still leave me with my 10 to start with. So I'm not changing the start of my problem. Okay? And let's do another 10 positives, because that gives me 20, and I need 25. Actually, I don't even need another 10. I apologize. We only need another 5, right? Because so far we have 10, 20. So I need 5 more positives. So I'll just draw those. That'll be a little bit easier. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I need some negatives to balance it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So again, we're still at 10 positives right now, because if I cancel out all the p's and n's that match up, that would still leave me with 10. Now I have 25 positives to take away. So 10, 25. So I took away 25 positives. So I'm left with 15 negatives. So my answer is negative 15. Which again makes sense because 10, if I have $10, and then subtraction always means I'm spending money, $10 take away 25 would mean I'm $15 in debt. Okay, because I paid off my $10 and I still owe $15. Okay. All right. Last problem here. So we have negative 24 minus 47. So negative 24 minus 47, that would be like spending $24 and then spending $47. Okay, so I could do the P's and N's, but writing 47 P's and N's would be a lot. Okay, so if we think of this in terms of money, I'm spending 24 and spending 47. So if I add those together, that would be 11, right? 6 plus 1 is 7. So this would be $71 that I'm in debt for because I'm spending the money and I started with no money. You could also have written this as negative 24. Let me move that over just a bit. Negative 24 plus negative 47. That would have been the same as what we did yesterday. So negative 24 plus negative 47, that's adding two negatives. So we just keep it more negative. Okay. So this is something we're going to practice a lot. If the P's and N's help you, I strongly recommend doing that. If it helps you to think of it in terms of money, go ahead and think of it in terms of money. We're going to practice this more when we get to class. Have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.